stop recidivism. Sure, everybody that's committed a violent crime should be put away, they should be dealt with appropriately. But the vast majority of crime in this county is not violent in nature. If you have somebody that has a mental health issue, how do we deal with that? If we have somebody that has a mental health issue and then started to self-treat themselves with drugs illegally, how do we deal with that? If we have somebody, and this is not uncommon, and especially when we have the oxycodone problem, if we have somebody that had a surgery or a car accident and became addicted to drugs, and then ended up buying those drugs on the street because they couldn't get them from the pharmacy anymore, how do we deal with that? And oftentimes it's a domino effect where you start with the mental health issue or with a car accident or some other issue, and then it turns into a drug issue, and then it does become a violent crime. But how do we stop it in the beginning? Putting aside education of our young people and other things of that sort, and that goes for violent crime as well, educating the young people, which is dealing with this particular subject. You give people a second chance sometimes. You have to look at each case and each individual differently. You can't have cookie cutter justice. It is not one size fits all. If somebody has a drug problem, there is a difference between the heroin addict and, believe it or not, the cocaine addict and the person who got addicted to drugs because of the accident I just spoke of, or the person that just smokes too much weed. And you can't treat them all the same. And there are tools in the state's toolkit. There are tools available from the state laws that allow things to be tailored more appropriately. Unfortunately, the court system and the state attorney's office have kind of looked at it as a one-size-fits-all. So there are things just in that particular area that I'm talking about that can be done that don't cost the taxpayer any more money, because a lot of them ended up being self-paid. If you have insurance or you're working, you can pay for it. Right now, with this issue I just spoke of regarding drugs, we have drug court. Great program. Great program if you don't have a job. Great program if you're a heroin addict. Because it requires you to take basically a day off of work to sit there for 6 or 7 hours. And it takes that minor drug user and sticks them into the same program as the heroin addict. And what you end up doing is introducing somebody that might have a minor drug problem to the heroin addict. And now you have two people with a major drug problem. And that's just an example that I'm pulling out. I decided to run because sometimes you need somebody from the outside looking in to come in and fix some of the problems. And there are things that need to be fixed. There are things that need to be adjusted. And because I work with all parts of the system, I understand that. And I believe I can do that. I know I can do that.